Okay, so in today's class, I would like to talk about file transfer protocol. So you might have known this. This is the only topic that I have. Maybe a short session, unless I have any questions. Mm, so as the name says, file transfer protocol is a protocol which is used to transfer files between two nodes. So that's the very purpose of file transfer protocols. I would like to talk about few things about that, and quickly about how does it work, and then what are the configuration that we have to do on the server side and the client side. And there are some CLI commands in case if you would like to work on CLIs for FTP, and there's a demo that I have planned. So very short session and very straightforward one. Okay, so FTP is a reliable way to transfer files between computer hosts connected in a network without requiring the user to log in directly. So user do not need to directly log into the system. So instead they can uh, use this FTP to transfer the files between different hosts. Okay, so a client connects to the server with credentials. Yes, it asks for credentials. They will have to supply the username and the password. And the permission, based on the permission for the users. So the user would be able to read file, upload file, write files, modify. All things are based on the credentials given to the user. And so there are two types of connection with the server. One for the control port or establishing a control channel. The other one is for doing the data transaction. So there are two channels that will get established between the client and server. So the one that is used for control is UDP port number 21, and for data transaction port number 20 is being used. And the commonly used FTP service is very secure FTP daemon that is being designed to be fast, stable, and most importantly secure. So the we have this VSFTPD that we need to install in our system to use this FTP server. So if you're looking at like how this FTP does its job, as I had mentioned, it has two channels. One is control channel and the data channel. If you see the picture at the left, so a control channel will get established. While getting established, you will do the negotiation of what ports and things like that will be used for data and how many blocks will be transferring that. So once a control channel is established, data channel will be established after that. And after authentication, we'll be able to do the file transaction, data transaction. So that's a very high level overview of FTP. And there are two modes in FTP. One is active mode and the other one is mode. The active mode is basically where the client opens a port and waits for the server to connect to its transfer of data. This server uses its port 20 to connect to the client for data transfer. So this is a slight vulnerability for the security issues because the client is open with a port, and so it might cause an issue. So so people use passive mode, wherein the client requests a file from the server. Server opens a random port for doing the data transactions, and the data transactions happens in a ephemeral port or a pseudo port. So this is what is preferred to avoid any security related concerns. Those are the two modes that we have. And coming to the FTP server configuration just after installation, installation is very simple. VM minus Y and install VSFTPD will install the FTP server in our system. ftp.conf is a configuration file that we will have to modify some configurations the configuration parameters that we may have to change, I have listed it over here. There's a configuration item called local I underscore enable, which is in case if it is commented, so we may have to uncomment it to allow authenticated users. So if you do not do this, so it might allow any users to log into the system, and which may not be a secure access. The other one is disabling anonymous FTP access. So we will have to
Yeah.
disable this
Alex, can you please use the pen while you are
pen.
scrolling down the points? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This is where the file is present. For configuring the FTP server, this file is once after installing, we will have to open this file, which is present under /etc/vsftpd vsftpd.conf. And next configuration we may have to do is local underscore enable is equal to yes. So this is a configuration that we will have to uncomment in case if it is commented out, just to allow only the authenticated users in case if we do not enable this. So anyone will be able to access the system without the authentication. So we'll have to make this local underscore enable yes. And anonymous enable should be no, because we need to disable the any anonymous access. That's not good. So we will have to make sure that it is no anonymous FTP access. And to allow writing to the server, we may have to enable write underscore enable yes. So this is including uploading of files, downloading of files, and things like that. And to restrict local users to their home directories, we can put the chroot jail. So chroot jail local chroot underscore local underscore user is equal to yes, which means so the users who are logging in to the server, FTP server, will be having access only to their home directory and not the others home directory. So in case if we are if we do not want this kind of things, then probably it's always better to use create a separate login or a dedicated login, username and password. And if we want to take the file or share the files, so we can give the username and credentials to the clients so that they can use the use the credentials to download the file or upload the file into the directory which we have. So that's also a preferred mechanism to transfer files in case if we do not want any security issues. So coming to the steps, so first thing is m install -y vsftpd. So that's the first one that we will have to do. This we can do, and once we have completed this, we'll have to open this configuration file which is present under etc vsftpd.conf and make all these configurations that we have just now discussed. And once save this, we'll have to enable the vsftpd so that it comes by default when we boot the system, and start the vsftpd, and may have to enable the firewall to allow this FTP service by giving this command add -service equal to FTP and make it a permanent one, and reload the FTP, reload the firewall daemon so that the FTP service that we have enabled in the firewall is active. So that's about the FTP server side. And coming to the FTP client, FTP client is installed in the system by default. We don't need to install it explicitly. And in case if you want to do a file transaction between Windows or any other operating system, yes, we can download some clients. Like many clients are there which are free open source uh, tools. One is FileZilla, Smart FTP. So many other things are there. So whichever we are comfortable with, we can use that, and we can create this. We can use that as a tool for FTP client. So this tool is FileZilla is a GUI client. It's not only available in Windows; it's also available in Linux. We can download it both in Windows and Linux and install it. And once we install this, so we will have to make a configuration which is called site manager configuration. This is the one that we'll have to make. The site manager configuration in the FTP server file in the FileZilla FTP client. So this site manager configuration will have the FTP server details, where we will have to tell which IP, what is the IP address of the server, and what's the port number, and what is the username and password. And once we are done, so we can connect to the FTP server by clicking the connect button, and it will be available. And we will get a new window which will help at the data transaction. So that's about it. So I'll start with the demo now. So I'm opening my CentOS virtual machine. So this is the one that I have right now. So if config, I'm going to use ENP0S10. So this is the network that I want to use, 172.15.0.11, and I have Windows. My Windows is in, sorry, Windows is in some 172.15.0.4. So let me do a ping to check 172.15.0.11. So this is my Linux pinging from Windows. I'm pinging from Windows. Let me ping from Linux to Windows 172.4. So this is Windows. I'm just pinging, and it's done. And there's another virtual machine that I have. If you see, this IP is 172.15.0.12. 172.15.0.12. 12 is another Linux. So I have two Linux and one window, and I would like to demonstrate to you the file transactions between these systems. So the node 1 or the 15.0.11, so that's a system that I'm keeping it as the FTP server. I have installed the FTP FTPD using this command. So it's already installed. So this is how we have to install. So
Yeah, Alex, just one question regarding this YAM installs. So this one, I don't know now, currently you are pointing to your local repository or to online?
This
This
is
YAM
online.
install.
This is online.
The,
Yeah, this is yeah. What I am doing is the node 1. I'm keeping it with online, and I have a cron job written to sync with the online by default. So on a daily basis, I would like my repositories to get synced up daily basis. So if you take a look at this file, so etc cron dot
yeah,
daily.
your screen is stuck, yeah?
Mm.
Your screen is stuck.
Oh, is it? Screen is
Now I can see
stuck. Okay,
Vim
let me
etc.
share it again. But now,
No, it still is stuck, looks like Vim et only, that's it. You can see the cursor. Okay.
is the cursor moving now?
Yeah, you can enter now, yes.
Yeah, what I was trying to show you is there's a cron job that I've written, which is a script. This is a script that I've written. So if you remember the shell script that we have learned, I have a list that is configured here. Base OS, AppStream, extras common, and high availability. All of these repositories are the ones that I want to get it updated from the internet. So these are the names of the repositories. I put this in a for loop for repo in local repos, do, and then repo sync. So this is the repository syncing that happens on a daily basis, and this is the command to do that. And I have all my RPM stored in this directory where www.html repos in which is present, which is the uh, hosted by the web server, and create repo is also the next command for each of the repositories. This repository will get created, repository file will get created, and this one will get initiated on a daily basis. So since it is
No, I mean,
there
if
as
you
part of
open
the cron job.
any of the local repository there, the repos,
Hmm.
anyone that you mentioned, for example,
Yeah, I'm showing that.
extra common or AppStream, some anything.
So these are my repositories, which are locally stored now. We see here, there is a base OS, which is, and inside here we have all the RPM packages.
Okay, so these are all the RPMs that you have set up.
Yeah,
So this
so this
one, first,
is
at the first time you downloaded this with the internet online.
correct. So what I did was actually there's a repo sync command that I showed, no? So that's a thing that when I initiated from the CLI from the terminal, it started downloading and started storing it in this
Okay.
location.
Okay, anyway, I think just to align. So, okay, yes, for the script part, yes, we have seen the scripting for
Mm,
I mean, some basic understanding. But for repo, I
mm.
think we haven't covered, right? So, setting up a local repo.
No, we covered
We,
no, Shafi.
yeah, because to this extent, we check this one to set up online.
Yes, we covered it. So in case if you have any questions, I mean, it's nothing. So uh, yeah, if you have any questions, probably I can do that again. But uh, yeah, so it's a very useful thing because we don't need to have the repositories downloaded from uh, download from the internet every time. This is one. And another thing is if you have a lot of nodes in our cluster, and then each and every node will try to pick up the repositories, updates,
Yeah.
and everyone will be having their own version. So we don't want that. So instead, we can have one repository server where which does this job of downloading from the internet website, from the repositories in the internet, gets the copies stored in the repository server for our cluster, and the node. So this is the one of the client node, and here if you see, I have written, so it is like this. You see, remote repo. So this is the repository file. So wherein I'm saying there's nothing you need to look for. So you need to look for the repositories only from this IP address. This IP address is my node 1's IP address, 172.15.0.11, and I'm saying enable 1, which means always it should be enabled. When I give sudo update, yum update, so it will directly try to reach out to this Apache server and tries to fetch all the things that is there.
And
Uh,
and just and quickly, if you show the same thing for the online server, the local
yeah,
repository server, let's say.
yes. So it will have the mirror websites. I'll show that. It will show the all the mirror sites for each of the
Mm.
um, repositories, upstream, base OS.
So only one. Okay, you sub created this one also. So
So
you
this
can
is
do this all. Oh yeah. So don't need to have repository separately. So you can create all together internally.
this came by default, so it was there already. I created this part is actually untouched. So in case if you install CentOS in your system, so you will have this mirror sites enabled by default. So whenever you give yum update, so it will try to fetch from the internet. So it will take more time. So I don't want to give this now.
Okay. 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 Good.
Yeah. So only thing is we need to make sure this HTTP server is up and running. Otherwise, HTTP is running. So in case if we give sudo yum update,
This client will take it from the local server.
yeah. So it will be quite faster as well. So it'll do its job quick because it's very internal and
Yes.
it will not take much time. So yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay. And just
quickly
one
finish.
request to you. You know the cron
Mhm.
job that you have created for the repo
Yeah.
server, let's say local
Right.
repo
Yes.
server.
Yes. Yeah.
That cron, that script, that or job or script, can you please save it in the shared folder?
Oh yeah. Sure. I can do that. Not an issue.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Okay. Coming back to
Oh,
FTP server. Yeah. So I have installed the VS FTPD server, and now I need to go and configure uh, the configurations for the FTP server VS FTPD. These are the configurations. May have to make sure that appropriate things are uncommented and working. Systemctl status VS. It's running. I already started it and enabled this as well, so it's running now. And first job is I have the FileZilla installed in my Windows. Let me open this FileZilla. This is this FileZilla. I have opened this in my Windows host. So I file menu, under file menu we have the site manager. We can create any number of site manager entries. So I created one new site manager entry called sent node 1, and in here you can specify which protocol you want, just FTP or SFTP or any other thing. I given 172.15.0.11 and 21. I have not enabled the security. So one more thing is FTP is capable of supporting transport layer security in the transport level. So this FTP doesn't have the encrypted way of transacting the data. So in case if you want to have an encrypted way of transacting the data, we have to enable the TLS, and that kind of protocol is called SFTP or secure FTP. So in case if you want to use secure FTP, we may have to enable that as SFTP. Currently, I'm using plain FTP, which is insecure. Give the username and password, and I'm saying background color will be blue in case once it gets connected. So you can see. So I am giving a message. So that's a configuration, and saying okay. Not okay. We need to do a connection. Yeah, so connectivity is done. So if you see at my left, I have my Windows directories and files. At my right, you can see the remote site, which is mentioned here, remote site. And this is the local site, and by default is pointing to d:/my docs. And this one is pointing to this root directory. So since I have logged in with the Alex user, it's always better to work with a Alex's directory, and you will not be able to do it because we are given the chroot jail. Okay, and currently this is showing my home directory, Alex's home directory. Let me do some transactions. Let me transact a document. Transact doing a transfer is a ticket to Chennai. So this is a document I'm transferring to my Linux home directory, and it is happening. It's going on. It's not yet completed. Now it is completed. You can see this ticket to Chennai, which is present under documents directory. We can go to this Linux and we can very well check this as well. Under this, we can see the ticket to Chennai.pdf just transferred successfully. Same way we can transfer any file from here to the Windows as well. You can try that as well also. For demo, transferring to d:/, it's transferred. You can check in Windows d:/, for demo here. So likewise, we can do the transaction across Windows, and can be done with a Linux also, between Linux as well. So this is one that is shown to you in Windows, so we can do it with the Linux also. I'm going to show. I have another VM here, so this VM I can do FTP 172.15.0.11. So this is the IP address of my FTP server, and I've logged in, and now I need to give the credentials. I got the credentials, enter the credentials, and if you see help, and you have a list of commands here, and the prompt is also changed. So prompt is FTP prompt, and we have a list of commands. So we can do a lot of other things as well, creating a directory, sending bulk of files, not only one file. We can send a set of files, bulk file, mget, mput. So we can upload a set of files. All things can be done using the CLI. LCD. If you give, so this is gives the home directory of the node 2. PWD will be the location of the server's home directory, server's location. Server's location is this, and um, local missions the location is this. And if you want to change, put any file, file1 is a file. There's nothing here. Let me take quotes. This file, I'll take this file and then transfer it to the server. It is so fast, so it's transfer complete, and we can go to the server and check whether the transfer has happened. The quotes file is here.
Okay, so this one you put it from FTP server to locally to the Linux machine. Yes, you just log
Yes.
into FTP and no need to give the path. So just copy to the root folder, root path. This
Yeah.
quotes you didn't mention the path, right? Where to copy it. So by default it looks copied to the root.
Yeah. Root in the sense it's a home directory. So I'm in this
Yeah.
location. So I'm my home location. So in this place it is copied.
Mm.
Okay. So these are the list of commands. LCD cd change directory on the remote machine. If you want to change the directory on the remote machine, you can do so by cd. LCD changes the local side directory. LS will list the list of files in the remote location, and mkdir creates a directory in the remote server or the FTP server, and so on. So there are many other commands here. Get is to copy one file from the remote to the local machine. Mget does the same thing with multiple files. Put is the reverse of that, and mput does it with multiple files. So these are the commands for FTP, and yeah, so it's very straightforward FTP thing. We can